Hi there, this is Haddad here again. So in this section, I'm going to show you first about the lab that we are going to work in this course, so how everything is connected. And then after that, I have to start in this section to make the configuration using the VLANs, but in this case, we don't use the hardware offloading on layer 3. So we're not going to do any layer 3 hardware offloading, and then I'm going to show you when the traffic pass, when we have very high traffic, then we will see that everything will go to the CPU, so it's software-based routing, and then in this case what's going to happen, the CPU will be very high. So that's what is the mission of this section. Now in the upcoming section, after we make the test and we see that the CPU is high, then I'm going to apply the layer 3 hardware offloading, and then I'm going to show you the difference after we apply the layer 3 hardware offloading and we do the same test. We are going to see that the traffic will be still high, but the CPU will not be affected. So this is what I'm going to do for this section and the upcoming section. Now I'm going to show you what is the lab scenario for this complete course, and then in the upcoming lecture I'm going to start making the configuration without layer 3 hardware offloading. So let's go directly to see what is our lab scenario. So as you can see, this is my lab scenario. I do have here 3 routers, router 1, router 2, and this is a router which is going to be like an end device. I called it PC. So what I'm going to do over here is that I have to put the IP addresses, as you can see on the picture. So this is how it's connected on the interfaces. So I'm going to create VLANs. Let's say over here we make VLAN 10. So between those two interfaces we create VLAN 10, and over here we do VLAN 20, for example. This is gonna be a trunk link here between router 1 and router 2, and this is because it's PC. Then this is going to be like an end device. It doesn't understand VLAN, then this is going to be an access port on VLAN 20. And I'm going to put IP addresses, and then after that what I'm going to do is to just make a routing. So in this case, what you can do, you can either use something like static route if you want to make it easy. In my case, I'm going to use OSPF. So I'm just going to enable OSPF here and here. Then once we have OSPF enabled, then all we need to do is just to make a default route, which is like a gateway. You know, on our computers we have to make a gateway to be able to go to the outside world, and that's how we are going to do. And then after that I'm going to send the traffic using some traffic generator on MikroTik. I'm going to make a traffic to send traffic from here to here to this PC. So meaning that this router, when he sends the traffic to router 2, router 2 will open his routing table and will say, oh, you want to go to 192.168.23.2, which is connected to me. Then he will see that it's an entry inside his routing table, and he will send the traffic to here. So this router has 2 entries, should have 2 entries here. The first entry is this network, and the second entry is this network. So the traffic can flow like this and also can flow like this. And then I'm going to go to check on this router what is going to be the CPU. Again, we are not doing any layer 3 hardware offloading, so all the traffic that we are sending from router 1 to the PC is going to pass through the CPU. So we are going to check how much the CPU will be in this case, and we're gonna see that the CPU will go high and very high because we are going to make generating too much of traffic. Okay, so that's what we're going to do in this lab. Again, if you don't know how to use OSPF, that's no problem. You can do static routes, so you can just make one route, static route from here to here. To this network, to go to 192.168.23.0, send everything to your next hop. And also you do the same, one static route from this router to this network to go to 192.168.12.0, go to this next hop, and that's it. Now, if you like OSPF like I do, and if you want to use OSPF and you don't know how to use it, I have a course speaking about OSPF. I'm going to leave for you the link, so you can just register to the course. Also, it is on the latest Router OS version 7, so you can learn how you can use OSPF. But I'm going to pass through that very fast, and also we're going to pass through VLANs. So again, I assume that you already know about VLANs and about OSPF. If you don't also know about VLANs, I'm going also to leave for you a link about my course about VLAN if you want to learn about VLAN. Because in this course, I'm not going to explain what is VLAN and how it works and so forth. So this is what we are going to do. This is the complete lab for this section. So we will start by just putting IP addressing, creating the VLANs, making OSPF, and then creating the then the route is created actually, and then what we need to do is just to send the traffic from one router to another, and we will see what's going to be the CPU on the router. By the way, just to go back to the picture, so this router, which is in the middle, which is the one acting like our own router, is in CRS 300 series, which is possible to make on it the layer 3 hardware offloading in the future. This is also, I'm using a CRS 300 series, but this can be whatever you want as a MikroTik router. It can be also a computer, your end computer, that's possible. And this one, I'm using a HAP AX. So it's called HAP AX2. So it has a gigabit interface. This one has gigabit interfaces. This one has gigabit interfaces. This one has gigabit interfaces. So that's what I have in my lab. But again, as I said, you are free to use whatever you want as hardware. But remember that the router that you want to use it to make the layer 3 hardware offloading should be listed from MikroTik website, that it is a router where you can use layer 3 hardware offloading. So this is all what I wanted to show you in this lecture. So now we know what is the scenario. Let's go directly to the upcoming lecture and start doing the configuration. See you in the upcoming lecture.